Do the gamblers know something, or does it just not matter? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday. And, of course, October the 11th. And, of course, we've had another wild week in the markets. But we'll get there. We'll get to that later. In the meantime, of course, you've got the big vice presidential debate. And, depending on which media outlets you read, you will hear who the winner is. I mean, but deep down inside, as I said from the presidential debate, there was no clear winner. That was like a WWE event. However, I do think that Vice President Pence won pretty handily. I thought he showed a lot more professionalism, but either way, it's not going to matter one way or the other, and that, I guess, is the big question. Suddenly, the election, the gamblers market, the bettors market has made Joe Biden a huge favorite. I have no idea what they're betting on. I mean, I'm taking a little bit more action, but I still believe it's the other side. But certainly, it's like markets. The market in gambling is never wrong either. As it gets to a rule here, but we'll see. We'll see where they come from here. I mean, again, it's not logical to me. I mean, I could see somebody beating the current president, although I think he's done a great job, and I think he'll continue to do a great job. But at the end of the day, obviously, the biased media, the BS reports, the fact checking only on the president. Nobody checks Biden's facts that he is, he's had signed more things against race over his career. In 47 years, he's done nothing. And, of course, everything that happened during him and the Obama administration, many similar things are happening now. However, he's now got the cure in his old age of 78 to figure it out now. But, of course, again, when you have a media and the majority of media is left. Now, we know, listen, I'm not a fan of either media, let's make clear. But when the majority is left, brainwashing everybody, and not one possible thing has President Trump done right in 4 years. Not one thing has he ever done right. That you can, again, that'll be backed up by Clinton News Network and others. Even the reports that have been coming out from the FBI, from CIA, and from all about who is involved in the Russia hoax, we now have heard that they're not for real. They're phony. So look, at the end of the day, you will believe what you want. Hopefully, you'll get out and vote, and you'll vote for who you want, because again, the facts around this campaign are very clear. You've got a lousy senator who makes claims that has no idea what she's talking about. Okay, with a president. A vice president, incoming potential president, that is borderline senile and can't get through one conversation without it being prepared for him, without making all kinds of mistakes. But again, the American people will choose, and I'm not going to argue with that. As long as people vote, I can never argue with the process of voting. And whoever wins, I'll have to support that president, no matter what I think of him, or what will end up being her. But I think that, of course, I listened, I watched parts of the debate, and I don't think she said much of anything other than her sneers and snickers and the lies that were turned around just from her own presidential debate against Joe Biden. The items on busing, the items on predators. So we've all heard it now. We know that's partially politics, so we won't get too much into it. At the end of the day, you go out and vote. You'll make your decision, and we already know that it's very hard for a Republican to win. But I think in this case, and I still say that President Trump will win rather handily, and we'll see. And if I lose, then not only will I be wrong about the election, but I'll lose some cash. Hey, it is what it is. But the bottom line here is I think it's kind of sad that you have a person like Michelle Obama, okay, who came out and said that the riots are peaceful. They're not peaceful. Okay? Let's not fool each other on what is going on. Okay, you are seeing the things we've talked about here often and for years, the early stages of a potential civil war. You're having a bunch of areas in the country of pockets that are taking over and trying to muscle the police. And of course, now the police are so hamstrung, they can't do anything anyways. So, again, let's not be foolish, and please don't be fooled by ignorance, okay, or blindness. Look for yourself. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. I'm not trying to convince you to vote for anybody. I don't care about the vote now. Now we're talking real facts. Okay, 20 miles from my house, in both directions, were wild, violent protests. Okay, so again, Portland, violent protest, burning, looting, destroying the American way. So if that's peaceful, well, I guess I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which is entirely possible. But you have to just understand that, we've got so many things going on that, and let's go on to what the real facts are. And of course, President Trump says that he's going to make China pay big for this COVID. And I hope he does, because I do believe that was sent here on purpose. I do believe that this was some sort of a chemical warfare time of thing. And I do believe that he initially acted correctly, shutting down travel in January, and however he handled the rest. Hey, I still think, and this is where the big issue comes in. Okay, stimulus for what? Okay, haven't we had enough? You know what the best stimulus is people going back to work. Okay, look, I say that if you're healthy and you're not in the high risk category, you should go to work. Okay, you can opt out, but I don't believe that the country should be shut down. I don't believe that all small businesses should be closed. And unfortunately, all my favorite small businesses are now out of business forever. So the party of the left, which is where I live in a predominantly left area, okay, they have put out of business their own neighbors and friends because the left doesn't want small business to succeed. They want to keep them locked up on that free money drug and forget about real business, forget about real success. You can just go back and look at Hugo Chavez, okay, and tell me how this is any different. They were at one time the richest country in the world. Where are they now? And if you continue to let this kind of stuff happen and keep destroying small business and competition, and see where you end up then, okay? You will not like the result, I can promise you. So if we continue to wipe out our small entrepreneurial businesses that become competitors to the big guys, then you will not like the picture when it's over, because stimulus does nothing to help the economy. All it really does is it adds a bill to you and me so we can pay more taxes over time. Okay, which, just speaking of more taxes, Joe Biden, the big debate in the debate was Harris said that Biden would not tax anybody under $400,000. But what if he does take off the tax cut? Okay, doesn't that tax everybody? So those families that are making more money will no longer be making more money. But the bottom line is, forget about the tax issue. The stimulus is going to kill us by itself. Let the people go back to work. That's what we need. Not more stimulus, not more bull, but people going back to work. I mean, think about all the vendors in the sports venues. Think about all the car parkers. Think about all the people that are so desperate for jobs, but you won't let them go to work. You won't open the venues that they work in. Think about your friends and neighbor who owns maybe a small restaurant who's now closed forever. So the parties, the Democrats, the left, supposedly this party of the small business, you can say bull to that. Because obviously they're permanently destroying so many people and so many businesses, and that's all in the same goal in mind, because they want the few at the top, okay, to have all the money. It's no different than that superstar piece of garbage, LeBron James, okay, that walks off the court before the game is over because they're going to lose. So he wants to take his ball and go home, okay? And anybody who supports that's an imbecile, okay? And I don't really care whether you support him or not. He's not a great guy to begin with. He's got a big mouth, okay? He is a great player. I have nothing to say about his play. He is one of the greatest of all time. But from a human being, he's nothing but a running mouth, okay? I don't want to hear about the school that he put up money for, but let him go to work and show and help these neighborhoods. I'm tired of the speech makers. I'm tired of the soapboxes. And especially, what kind of role model walks off the court when they're losing, okay, before the game is over? So I hope you're not teaching your kids that, because that's a pretty crappy situation. But hey, the Treasury Department is going to put on some major sanctions on Iran. So obviously, they're going to nip them in the bud as well. And I think that's, the real problem is we got more trouble here with our protests than we have worldwide now. And, look, Ben Bernanke says the markets are extremely overvalued. I mean, look, they could be. They may be, they may not be. Again, one thing we never know is what is real value. All we can do is watch price action, okay? Because the markets will go up if they don't, and that'll be the end of the day. But just remember, okay, you got to get out and vote, okay? Again, my feelings, and again, if you can look me in the eye and tell me the guy they're running from the left is so great after 47 years of doing nothing but stealing from the American people, that wants to make your dollars worth less and make you pay more taxes, hey, God bless you. Anyways, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, October 11th. We're going to stop out here for a break, and we'll be back with more of Bubba's Bottom Line after the break. Well, kids, what's going on? So we got, we got some great things happening. Family farms. And we partnered up with them for farmers and producers, and we're going to be on the road with them, or at least I will be representing and teaching how to hedge. I'll do seminars in Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas. In about 30 to 45 days, I'll have more exact information. If you have any interest in participating, let me know. I'll make sure I get you an invite. It'll be at a hotel, and I'll have a couple hours of questions and answers, and I will teach the hedging model that we like to use. So let me know about that. And of course, our brokerage partners, I talk about them all the time, but they're just phenomenal. Now, full disclosure, I have other brokerage accounts. But for our letter of direction trading, CTG, for futures and commodities, there's none like it. Okay? They get the job done. They pick up the phone. Clean, smooth, goodbye, good luck. Perfect. Okay? CTG Group, the best. And for equities and options, Tradier. I mean, again, besides the $10 a month, besides our hedging program is automated through them, we have more programs. We're going to automate everything. By the end of this year, we'll be, if you choose, you don't have to, but we will be, for those who want to that are through Tradier, you will be 100% automated. Okay? And that means you don't have to sit there and worry about when a trade is supposed to do something. It gets done automatically based on your specs. Our commodity report from Andy Heck, Technomental. What can I say? The man's been in the business for 40 years. He was a big-time commodities trader, at one time the biggest silver trader in the world, traded off the board and also physical commodities. Right? Traveled worldwide, lived all over the world trading, and now he's writing for Bubba Trading, and he is part of the Bubba Trading gang. Technomental is the name of the report. It's $100 a month or $800 a year, and of course, him and I are going to introduce it in November together, because we're going to make some additions. And of course, prices will go up, but those members of mine know that once you're in, you're locked in forever at the price you pay today. And don't forget about our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. In the meantime, we'll get back to the Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my market update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, October 11th. And, of course, this is our market update segment. And I don't know. Look, markets are going up. I don't know what to tell you. as much. Look, first of all, we're long now. We were short. We had a nice drawdown. Okay, but we were short. We're now long, with the exception of the NASDAQ. But at the end of the day, again, I don't care. I'm going to follow the rules. Okay. Yes, I can see what's going on in the market. I can have an opinion, but opinions get you ways to lose money. Opinions prevent you from making the most amount on any trade you can, because you exit too early or you stay in too long instead of having a defined set of rules. So that's great for you if you want to do it that way, but I like those 66%ers that I just know. Drawdowns come, all I'm looking to do is add on more to my portfolio. In the meantime, we are long everything but the NASDAQ. The bond markets, notes, we're still short. They were down a little bit, flattish, basically, for the week. Look, at the end of the day, obviously, there's more stimulus or there's something coming. The Fed's going to have to create more money. They're going to have to keep the pressure on the bond markets, and that's just the way it's going to be. And at some point, that will change, and it could be tomorrow. But again, I can't tell you that. Okay, and of course, the metals were pretty wild as well, right? They're up and down. But seriously, we're still short gold, silver, platinum. They're in a massive consolidation phase. I'm going to assume they're going to break to the downside. Okay? And not because I'm bearish. I don't have an opinion. In fact, this full disclosure, I own physical gold. I own physical silver. I'm never selling it. But we're talking as a trader. When I talk here, I'm talking as somebody who's trading day to day, week to week, depending on the price action. Okay, but I'm always in all these markets, either long or short. So, again, let's remember that's the difference between being a trader and being an investor. So, in the meantime, they were all somewhere hovering around the flat line. It looks like they want to break to the downside. Now, if they break up, then we'll obviously reverse at some point. Crude, we're finally short. They're running it, but basically, if you look at a longer term chart, they're really in just some consolidation. Now, again, are they going to break up? Look, again, if they're up and we have to stop and reverse, I will do exactly what I'm supposed to do right now. We're short. I ain't happy, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Natural gas was a little bit higher this week. We're now shorted. Copper, a little bit lower. We're still shorted. I'm sorry, it was a little bit higher. We're still shorted. But, and the dollar is under pressure. But, of course, that kind of goes hand in hand with the treasuries, okay, because that's the Fed doing their overall manipulation, okay. So we'll see where it goes. And again, we're in our positions, and we'll be here until at least Tuesday. Grains, wow. And we are, of course, long the grains across the board, but monster weeks for corn, wheat, and beans. I think they're going higher. Again, I think, and I've said this on RFD a number of times, every opportunity to buy, every pullback, you should be stepping in and buying. I think we're going higher. This is where you need to learn how to hedge. So instead of sitting here at 390 and maybe 420 corn, and not hedging it and protecting it up at those levels, and then have to watch it all the way back down to 3, because anything can happen. So why not protect it while leaving the upside open? But hey, that's up to you. In the meat department, we've got hogs. They're still flying, but hogs are really just in big consolidation. They've had some wide swings, but they look great. We reversed in live cattle. It's live or fats, just in case you don't know the difference. That's the same thing, live and fats. But in the meantime, we reversed and are now long, okay, and they were up a little bit. And we're short feeders, we're down a little bit. But neither moved enough to get me excited or get me scared, okay? So that's what they look like. And, of course, in the softs, I'll just give you our positions so you know where we stand. We're still long cotton and have been for quite a while. We are still short OJ, okay? We are still short cocoa, coffee, and long sugar. So, again, we'll see what happens. I don't predict. I feel, I've said this before, there's going to be a huge move on the horizon. I think we will see a very, very large move. However, I don't know the direction. Right now, it looks like it wants to go to the upside. It looks like it wants to test the highs. Because when you look at the market, okay, it's it feels and looks like it wants to go up. I mean, no matter what we think, remember, no matter what we think, that's why we just follow the rules. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and we're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be right back with more of Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary after the break. So, what do we got here? We got, brokerage houses that we deal with, and of course, I always say I've got other brokerage houses I work with, so that I trade through. So again, full disclosure, but of course, for our letter direction trading, and all my members love CTG. I get nothing but glowing emails about them and what a great job that they do. And of course, they are now the only authorized letter of direction broker that we have. Again, they have a new product coming out, which we're going to be introducing right here on the Saturday after the election. Right here, we're going to help CTG introduce a new product. And of course, there's Tradier for equities and options. And, I always go $10 a month. It's easy, but also think about it. I mean, we're going to be totally automated by the end of the year, and you will have the access to let it auto trade for you for $10 a month. Okay. So again, you don't have to, but that's, if you want to, you've got the access to it. In our commodity report, Andy Heck, quarterlies just came out. They're phenomenal. But again, as I said, he's 40 years in the business. He's now part of the Bubba team. We met together over the weekend. I was out in Vegas, and I think that he's, he's a big addition, and the report is phenomenal. But there's going to be more. We're going to add to it. So I tell you now, there will be a price increase in November. We're going to present what we're going to do with this report, and it'll be more deluxe and have more information that you're going to want. Okay. But in the meantime, right now it's $100 a month, $800 a year. And of course, don't forget about our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. And now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, and it is my commentary. And of course, obviously, there's a lot of events last week, and mostly political. I mean, again, we talked about this earlier. The one-sided news, the reporters, nobody can give just the news, just what happened. But I do think it's kind of sad that you have a Biden or a Harris or a Pelosi, okay, or a McConnell, or used to be Paul Ryan, any of them, with lies. Nobody says a word, button the lip. But the minute that President Trump says one thing, they go bananas. And every headline you read, President Trump did this, he did that, he did. Now, why is it that this country has become so much against? Forget that the person's in the office. It's the office of the president. But of course, some people would rather see the country go down than have the president succeed. But I think you saw witness to people that want that. An example, LeBron James, when he walked up the court. Okay. An example, Robert De Niro, when he said he wanted to punch in the face. Or in report, all the people that were wishing the president would die when he got COVID. Now, you tell me, okay? Now, I don't know how much you hate anybody, but how could you wish the death on anybody? Especially the leader of your country. You got to listen, it's 27 days, 28 days, whatever, it's 25 days, you can vote him out. But when did we become this low that we wish for the death of a president, especially even you can vote him out? Okay. So when did it become this? In my eyes, it's pretty scary. I do think there's a civil war brewing. You can poo-poo me and say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And hey, I'm not going to argue. But so far, many of the things I've said over the years have all come to fruition. And I will not be surprised if this does as well. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Top Bubba Horowitz. And of course, it is Sunday. So what do we got? We got Sunday Night Football. And who do we got? We got a pretty interesting game. Okay. The Seattle Seahawks against the Minnesota Vikings. Seattle couldn't be playing better with arguably an MVP quarterback, Russell Wilson. And Minnesota, other than winning last week, couldn't be playing any worse. They stink. Yet, I have a feeling that the dog might come here and bark and bite into Seattle. Small play on Minnesota. Okay, a little bit more then maybe 2 pizzas and 2 beers, or maybe two pizzas in a case. Okay, how's that? Not a lot, but I do think that the dog looks like a good bark here. So let's see. And of course, obviously, there's been a lot of COVID cases in the NFL. Let's hope they get through the season. To all of you, have a great day and be careful, be healthy. If you're off tomorrow for Columbus Day, have a great day off. There will be no Bubba's Bottom Line tomorrow. There should be no Bubba's Daily Update because the markets are half open, half closed. So we'll see you back on Tuesday. Enjoy, be good, and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you.